also think it is, I think it is like the prayer you say, how it's not either or, it's both. I also think our kids are at an age where sitting down and doing something formally is not necessarily where they're at.
No.
Olivia's getting to that point. But you have 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. It may be a little more formal, the family gathering together and whatnot. And as he said, we're homeschooling, and Olivia and I go through, and she's just, it's so amazing to watch her develop as not only as a person, but as a person who's seeking God. And it's just amazing to watch her develop. And so we start off our day with prayer, and we do our confessions, and we go through, sometimes it's devotional, sometimes we have a video we watch and go through, discussing it and worksheets and things like that. So she's getting a little more formal time stuff like that, but it's also, as she asks a question, says something, we hop on that as a time to, as he said, weave in. And it's, I believe, and I didn't know about the study, but I believe is so true that those times and taking that time to discuss, and because it's what's on their heart at that time, and it's also being able to put it in an understanding of where they're at. So
context.
You may, I have lesson plans or things we may do, and it's interesting because if that's not where she's at and thinking at that time, I can get so much more when I try to do something relatable to something that has come up or an incident. I had this thing, she's at the age where just trying to figure out, she's, when a child is younger, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're always with you. But as they get older, their circle widens a little, and they have friends, and they see people here, and their influences start to, you have to watch their influences a little more. And so I had this thing where I was talking with Olivia about when you are talking with your friends or playing with your friends, or they're saying do this, or you guys are talking about doing this, you've got to think about, if my mommy and daddy were here, is that something I would want, would I say that, would I do that? And then I took it even further. I said, but even when mommy and daddy aren't there, you have to have the God consciousness. I didn't use that word, but to know that Jesus is always there and watching you, and he sees what you say and your thoughts. And it's so interesting because there were 2 or 3 things over a matter of a few weeks where we did a devotional, and it was dealt with that. There was something, she asked a question, it dealt with, and she could see and start relating back. Hey, mommy, that was when you said this. That's just like when we learned about that. And so going through using examples and things that are relatable to them and situations that arise, I believe can be very, very effective.
Yeah, it's if you're having trouble fitting it in, make an appointment and keep it. But there's something higher than making an appointment and keeping it. It's making it a life.
Mm-hmm.
You say, Pastor, we're just slamming, we're moving, the kids are up, then set you a 6 a.m. appointment, bring everybody together and do what you got to do for 15 minutes and rock on. Or do it at 8 o'clock right after dinner, whatever it is. Do it. But while you're doing it, don't think that, well, I've done it here, I don't need to do it anywhere else. You need to weave it. And again, people will just, well, that ain't right, and I didn't do that, and if you're not having a morning devotional, you're not of God. Well, okay. It's very interesting what the Bible says. It says the Bible says, well, let's just look at this. This would be a great place to quit, because I'm not going to get to the other ones. Deuteronomy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Go to Deuteronomy 6. And Deuteronomy...
7, 8.
Deuteronomy 6 and Deuteronomy 11. Deuteronomy 6, verse 7. Well, verse 6. And we got to hurry. Deuteronomy 6:6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart. That's the key. Because when it's in your heart, it'll come out in the situations of life. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. Okay, so that sounds like devotion. But not only that, talk of them when you're sitting in your house. Talk of them when you're walking down the way. Talk of them when you're going to bed at night, and talk of them when you rise up. That's weaving them into everyday life. Thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand and upon the frontlets between thine eyes. That's focus. Thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy hearts. Now go to Deuteronomy 11. We'll look at this. Verse 18. He says it again here, and there's a dispute about the translation of this verse that we'll get to, but I'll just let it speak for itself. Deuteronomy 11:18, therefore shall you lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul. So it's got to be inside you first. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you one of the greatest ways to get it inside you. Listen to it all the time. Connie and I go to bed every night with the word playing. We wake up, it's playing. Our children go to bed every night with the word playing. The Deuce wakes up, it's always playing. Olivia's thing shuts off somehow. We have to figure that out. In your heart and in your soul, bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall teach them your children how? Well, you speak of them when you're sitting at home. Speak of them when you walk on by the way. Speak of them when you lie down. Speak of them when you rise up. Write them on the doorposts of your heart, of your house, and upon your gates. Why? So that your days may be multiplied. I like that. Mm-hmm. And the days of your children. Boy. But not only days multiply, and where will it be? In the land which the Lord sware to your fathers to give them. That's where they'll be, in the promised land. How will they be? They'll be as days of heaven upon the earth. Mm.